Welcome back to the Steady Show. Thanks for liking and subscribing. By the way, thank you with their 4,000 subscribers, you know. Big up to everybody who support the Steady Show. We have a lot more work to do. We need to talk about this interview that Dayton did on TVJ today, you know. PNP in a damage control mode, you know. You see this morning, Mark Golden write to a long letter on his page a complain about how election was called. They're not ready yet. Them weakness are exposed. Andrew Holness, I beat them, but all Dayton did was chat a bag of hot air. Dayton win the dumb talking point derby. Congratulations, Dayton. Let me make 2 quick points before me break down this interview here. Uno notice, just like when they walk out per Mark in a parliament because them a chat foolishness, in go out in the street go complain. At the same thing we I see right now. Remember the other day when people never show up for a meeting in a parliament, he put it out on social media. This morning again, long letter in write. Notice the pattern, you know. When things personally affect him, you know, him a want cancer like Norman Manley, you know, they're very sensitive, you know. Norman Manley used to fight down Marcus Garvey, you know. It is also interesting that Andrew is a Leo and Marcus Garvey was a Leo too. Please don't start no war on my page about signs. I am a Taurus. I'm ready.
First of all, Dr. Campbell, will the PNP be contesting the by-election in Northeast St. Ann?
No, we will not be. The People's National Party will be contesting the by-elections in the 2 divisions that are vacant, so in the Morant Bay division and the Alien Town division. The reason why is that those divisions became vacant because of natural causes, persons died, and the local government election is not due until 2028. So we are 3.5 years away from a local government election. So we will be contesting those 2 by-elections. In relation to the constituencies,
I don't think that's the case, Dayton. You don't have the money, on a week right now, so you come up with a bag of excuses. It is interesting to me that you and Mark Golden decide to spin the story as to why you now go up against Matthew and now you bring up other issues. We are paying attention. Make him go and talk.
we think that the government is trying to use the state resources to play politics and to deal with their
Money has always been available for by-elections. It's a part of how we do elections in Jamaica.
internal politics. If you look at the constitution regarding local government election, we are not allowed to have a by-election within the last year.
As it relates to local government election,
Leading up to the general local government election. Even in the People's National Party, we have said that we have no elections within the year before a general election. And it should be the same thing in the government. What they are seeking to do is to use the state resources and to have a serial by-elections.
Dayton tapping eyes, we have whole heap of money right now. 25 million and nothing. That is not the problem.
To generate some energy in their party, and we're not participating in the wasting of the state resources. It's going to take approximately $25
Hear about now state resources.
million for them to host a by-election, and this is in the context of schools still being unrepaired. We have only 18% of our students getting 5 subjects to include math and English. We have the agriculture.
Why are you conflating an issue as it relates to by-election with schools? Issues with school existed long before now. And remember, I want to build no school, give nobody or anything like that. I want to take out common entrance out of school. I want to take civics out of school. What are you talking about?
The sector that is in a state of crisis with food prices escalating sharply. We have a health sector that is underperforming with patients sitting on...
Food prices are high everywhere in the world. That not have nothing to do with the fact, say, you could not compete, you don't have nobody to donate to you because everybody says they can't bet for you anymore. Sponsors are move away from you in a big problem. You don't have no money. You know that is the truth.
And sleeping on the bed. And in that context, we think that there is so much more that the government can do with the limited resources that are available.
We have resources to do what the law says as it relates to running by elections. So this not make it right, sir.
We are already in the final year. The government is unlikely to call an election in the summer period, so we are really maximum 8.
But didn't Julian just say that the government is going to call the election this year? Oh no, she said PNP confused, I don't know what them do. What you mean by government going to call election this year? You and Julian are the same party? Or what?
9 months away from an election. The government is very unpopular. They think that should be
the government is not unpopular. Stop chat foolishness, Dayton.
Is that they should call the general election and let the people decide if they want to continue.
So the by-election is on to prepare for the general election as a matter of tradition, as a matter of principle. So how is it that Una try to win as much seats as you can? Una have 18 seats to win. Una go gamble for one, especially one in which for a whole year, Una had all the opportunities in the world to go and make on a mark, but y'all didn't. Because all in the focus span is election. Una know say Samuda was over there working to salvage the problem in the constituency, and Una never do nothing. But you know, look for your easy hand because you don't have no money to spend. We see the play. You guys are coming up short.
Along this downward spiral that is leading to disaster if they want change and hope.
What signal do you think this will send to the electorate, though?
Exactly.
You're a major political party. A by-election is called and you're sitting this one out. This is not like 1983.
No, this is saying to our persons that we're getting ready. After I finish speaking with you, I'm going into a campaign committee meeting.
So you're not ready for this?
We are busy preparing for a general election, which is due. We are of the opinion that when the report comes out on the Prime Minister, that we'll put further pressure on him. When his Integrity Commission report comes.
Again, the old talking points. The old PNP Integrity Commission. How is it that you are so privy to what is going on? Oh, no, sister, even if we not had a case, it would have been compromised by the mere fact that we not out here politicize and talk things. But we know we don't have none. But if additional depend upon for win election, it is not going to happen. The people are still waiting to hear and come up with fun own plans and ideas as to how on a plan to manage Jamaica should you be given the chance to win the election, but you will not be given. People already know, so the PNP, they don't have any plan. Why would you not spend 13 minutes talking about the plans that you have for Jamaica, but you don't have 13 minutes to come on TV, complain about election and to complain about the government? You can't just make up fun rule as to what determines whether a government is performing or not by world standards. The government is doing well. Dayton is a good salesman, you know. He knows how to spin things, and that will work within his party. But that is certainly not going to win over anybody to the PNP.
When the report comes out and the illicit aid will put further pressure on the government. I've already listed some of the things that has the government under pressure and seen as underperforming. And so we think that a generally
seen as underperforming. Notice, you know, he never said the government is underperforming. This is not like a first time, you know. Social media, they are now. Everybody is seeing what the government is doing and people are benefiting. This a kind of politics, yeah. It may have worked in the 70s and in the 90s when Uno did in our heyday, but that not gonna work no more.
Election really should be what the Prime Minister calls, if he calls anything. Let us be mindful of something, that the vacancy in Northeast St.Ann was engineered. It is a doing of the Jamaica Labour Party.
But is it illegal? If it's not illegal, we're not business with you know. Uno stop whining and find a way to come up with a winning hand.
There's a vacancy that has been there in South Trelawney for over a year. You orchestrate a vacancy.
But you can't win South Trelawney. Dalrymple had that thing for what? 4 consecutive terms. And Uno use Uno same PNP Integrity Commission to go after the woman because Uno politicized the Integrity Commission. Y'all know that Uno can't win South Trelawney. So stop using that as an excuse. Uno fail to prepare for Northeast St. Ann, and it is showing a full failure that. Take accountability. Uno not ready yet.
Northeast and call the by-election the next day while still not calling the by-election in South Trelawney, which has...
Because the Prime Minister is smart. If it is not illegal and he is using strategy, let him do it. Come up with strategies of no owner stop follow. or the two follow fashion.
It's been without representation for over a year. That's politics. We're not going to be parties to that.
It's all politics, Dayton. What do you think this is? It's politics. So if the Prime Minister now do nothing illegal, them say if you are not happy with a model, build a better model. Do something better than the Prime Minister. Preempt the Prime Minister and stop whining about the fact that the Prime Minister is making moves that you all can't because you lack ideas.
Complicit in the government wasting the resources of the state and using the state to settle their internal politics.
Foolishness.
What would this mean for your candidate, Dr. Ryan Simpson? He has been working in the area. Now you're not calling a by-election. Matthew Samuda will be there drumming up support. Wouldn't it hurt the party's chances when the general election is called?
No, that's not how we are approaching it. Our thing is evidence-based, data-driven. So
it's not about how you are approaching it. Simpson is in the area and Samuda has been in the area and Samuda is the preference. Y'all recognize that. So, uno just a play it safe because uno know say, uno no have no hand over there. As me say in my last show, uno go end up with the same seats them because uno no have no new strategy for win no new people. I found a problem that it's a problem that we want y'all to have too.
what we're trying to do is to make sure that we set appropriate targets for the different constituencies and then that we find the bodies to match those targets. So
that tells us that we don't never have the right body to go up against Samuda. Them the people there, if you notice, them go and talk out when politicians now perform. They did talk out, the government did something about it. Uno never have nothing to bring to them, so therefore, Uno never have no chance.
We'll continue to do the work in Northeast Center and in the other constituencies
in
the
right.
country to ensure that we can engage the people, we can explain to them what it is.
So you haven't been engaging the people? The lady just say Ryan Simpson has been in the constituency. By the way, notice Dayton body language, So the person asking him the question is to him right. And he not even looking at the person's face and talk. That tells us a Dayton not even believe in the words that come out of his mouth. He's just talking off of the top of his head.
That we're about showing them what the government is doing that is wrong and how it can be done differently. Because this government has a penchant.
And you still have not shown Jamaica what you're going to do differently. But just a pause him, because listen, Dayton is not even coherent, He's not talking on the subject, He keeps deflecting and keep circumventing the questions. But here somebody said the reporter keeps asking him questions because the reporter knows how foolish this Dayton attack.
For trying to deceive the people into thinking that what they're doing that is failing is the only way it can be done. But things can certainly be done another way. Let me look.
In what other way? Make two suggestions as to how differently things can be done, Dayton.
Use agriculture as an example. The food prices are soaring out of control. And the Minister of Agriculture makes it appear as if there's nothing that can be done. But
everybody can do something about agriculture. This is Jamaica. People can plant food and all of that kind of stuff. Agriculture Minister is giving a whole lot of assistance out there. Stop talking off of the top of the head and do actual research to figure out alternative solutions.
Majority of the items now that are selling to the increased cost are cash crops. These are things that the crop maturity for them is 3 months. And the ministry and the minister.
All right, everybody. I don't think we need to listen to any more of what Dayton has to say because Dayton clearly is not addressing why they were not adequately prepared when there was an open opportunity for somebody fresh to go into the constituency in a Northeast St. Ann and make a difference. And yes, they had somebody over there, but when the time came, they decided to withdraw. They are talking about local government election that is coming up 3 years, and I want to prepare. 3 years, things will be very different because one thing for sure, we know say Mark now come back after him lose the election. All of what we're seeing right here so is damage control, but it's interesting that they have time to come into the media and to talk about this. But we almost never see anything positive that the PNP is doing in the media because the PNP is broke right now. Somebody just pointed it out on my page that they made a lot of promises and spent up a whole lot of money and make it look like I say they could have win election. But as time goes by, they are getting weaker and weaker because comrade leader Mark Golding does not have any ideas. You cannot win an election by complaining and by coming up with the same old talking points. Them conference are come up, they're going to go with the same talking points. So them no plan for do anything differently than they've done before. Because, as we say, PNP has never won elections based on ideas. They do it by using state resources. That's why them come and accuse the government. It is called projection. This PNP party has absolutely no plans for Jamaica. And as the days go by, they're going to continue to lie and point fingers and deflect, such as they've always done. It's their party culture. The only problem now is that they don't have no money to buy out people like they could. You hear them talk about all unemployment. Most of the unemployed people them in Jamaica come from the PNP side because they are the ones who have never had to work. That's what they did during PJ time. Jamaica has no time and no room to go back to the old days. Or if you go get productive or you can go on. This PNP must be sent into political oblivion because they have nothing to offer to Jamaica. Steady family, go off in the comments and let me know what you think. This is a Steady saying, like, share, and subscribe. Steady.